how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Sai here, bringing you patch 7.2.5's Ret Pally PvP guide. Now, there's been a few changes within the 7.2.5 patch that we'll go ahead and go over, but there's also been a hotfix that came out for classes on the 13th. Also a hotfix on the 14th, but really doesn't pertain to us Ret Pallies. There was nothing in there. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what is different about the patch and the hotfixes and what that means for us in the PvP scenario. Now, for the patch notes themselves, our damage was increased by 3.5% across the board. Our Blessing of the Ashbringer now only grants 4% strength, was 2,000 strength, and Divine Hammer's damage was reduced by 25%. That Divine Hammer's damage reduction, it sounds like a lot, 25%, but when you think about it, with them only hitting for, I think mine were about 70,000, quote unquote, in BGs, 25% really isn't that big of a reduction. So in an AoE situation, it's probably still going to be our best one to go to. I'll give it a few tests and see how it goes. But for AoE, if you're looking for that damage, probably still your best choice. Now, for the hotfixes that came out on the 13th, our template strength was reduced from 85% down to 80%. So we receive 5% less strength when we go into PvP scenarios. Little nerf to all our damage. As I've seen, it really doesn't affect us too much. We're still hitting for a shit ton of damage. Blessing of Sanctuary's cooldown is now 45 seconds, was 30 seconds. This is the one where they were looking to give us a 60-second cooldown, but instead they decided, hey, 45 seconds is plenty of nerf for it. Lawbringer's duration increased to 45 seconds, was 30 seconds. Lawbringer now has changed a little bit. It now allows us to hit and apply the debuff to both the initial targets hit by our judgment. So you know how it deviates off and hits the second target? It'll hit that second target, and when you cast it again, both targets are hit for the 5% of their total health and holy damage, which is great. And you have a 45-second window to do this rather than 30 seconds. It's a little bit long of a window. Don't know why they gave us 45 seconds of it now, but hey, we'll take it. Divine Punisher now grants 3 holy power, was 2. This is where when we cast Judgment on a target that we already judged previously, it used to only give us 2, now it will give us 3. This might be a good talent for us to go ahead and take now, because that will be a 3 holy power. You know, that's a free spender every 10 seconds. So I'm going to mess around with that and see how it works. Now this is where Luminescence, I thought it was 30%. I was right. They did nerf it down to 20% heal and taking. Still a great move in BGs for people to heal you. Here's the big one though, guys. Templar's Verdict now deals full damage in PvP situations. It was reduced by 30%. Now that means that we gain that 30% damage back and is now greatly pulling ahead of Justicar's Vengeance. They used to be pretty even. Justicar's Vengeance was doing a little less unless the target was stunned. Now I'm feeling Templar's Verdict's dealing more damage to even if the target is stunned. Now don't get me wrong, Justicar's Vengeance is still a great technique because it does heal you for 100% of the health, 100% of the damage dealt to health back to you. So it's still a great move for survivability and casting those free cast 5 holy power spenders. Plus that still helps out your Hammer of Justice. It's still a great choice. But all in all, those were the changes that we saw. So hopefully these help you out, and we'll go ahead and look at the build now. Now, what we're going for on our build under the talents is we're probably going to go ahead and stick with the cookie cutter build. We got Final Verdict, Zeal, Fist of Justice, Blade of Wrath. Now, Divine Hammer did get that 25% reduced damage in it, but I mean, still 61,000 damage. It could still do potentially good against 2 to 3 targets or more within the PvP scenario if you're looking to generate all that nice juicy damage. But me, I like going that one-on-one, doing the assassin route, trying to get as much damage as possible in on the healer. So I personally choose Blade of Wrath, and that's just what I like. Getting that reset, I've had it reset a few times in a row, and it dealt a ton of damage. Plus, it gives me those 2 holy power for my spenders to generate even more threat against a healer. Now for 75, I still take Justicar's Vengeance, even though it's not hitting as hard as Templar's Verdict anymore. Even with the stun, I feel I mean, if you look at the damage charts, I had Templar's Verdicts hitting for 751,000, and it was a well-geared team. And my Justicar's Vengeance, I only had hitting for 524,000. So you can see that damage difference there. I swung with, what, 36 Templar's Verdicts, and I had 25 Justicar's Vengeance, just trying to keep myself alive with the free cast. Because again, Fist of Justice does still get that 2.5 seconds per Holy Power spent, and it still generates off your free points as well from Divine Purpose. Eye for an Eye is great. Still an amazing choice if there's physical damage. A high amount of physical damage, take it. It's 10 seconds where you're taking a lot less damage and dealing out a lot of damage. Especially in arenas, if you got a warrior coming at you, take it, put him down. Divine Intervention, great skill still. Now, something interesting, there's a ring that will be dropping in 7.2.5 that it's a legendary that will give us a skill depending on our spec. And for Rhett, that's Divine Intervention. Or not Divine Intervention, it's Divine Purpose, I'm sorry. So it will give us our free Holy Spinner cost, so we could actually run Crusade or Holy Wrath in a world PvP scenario and still have Divine Purpose. I think that is a completely gross thing. Imagine having Crusader sticking to someone, or Holy Wrath. That surprise Holy Wrath damage, it'd be just amazing. Just before you Divine Intervention hits, you hit with Holy Wrath, then you're on them. It's gonna be pretty sick. As for the honor talents, I'm still running Gladiator's Medallion because, lo and behold, I am not a human, so I can't just up and take Relentless. Reinforced Armor is my bread and butter passive just for BGs. 10% more health. It's great to go with. Sparring is amazing for those physical cleave teams if you're in arenas or the other team just has a ton of physical damage, you know? Nothing but warriors. Law and Order, I still love this skill. It gives our Blade of Justice that hindrance, slowing down the target for 3 seconds. Great for keeping up with people like those hunters who try to just constantly backpedal. You know, catch them, beat them in the face with your giant ass sword. Unbowed Freedom is awesome, gives you that 30% movement speed. Jurisdiction, amazing for arenas, for when you got to turn and go ahead and throw your Hand of Justice on a target. You don't have to run up to him because it does have a short range, 10 yards, but this will add another 10 yards, make it 20 yards. So great for you to go ahead and do that opening whoopah right on someone's face, and you never have to leave the target. Even though this did get nerfed, I still take Luminescence and BGs just because when I'm getting healed, 20% of that healing is still going to be going to everyone else, so it's going to help healers out still in the long run. Cleansing Light, I love taking this when I'm facing DKs and Assassination Rogues in arenas. Being able to cleanse all allies within 15 yards of poisons and diseases is a great lifesaver. Me and Tag have faced some DKs and shit, and it's saved our asses. I completely put an Assassination Rogue down just because every time he would start building up his poisons, boom, they're gone. Holy Ritual is also a great choice. Allies healed when you put a blessing on them, so if you're planning on playing your Ret Pally, because we are a support DPS. When our wings is up, we are a scary force to be dealt with. We will deal a ton of damage, but after that, we do, you know, decent sustained damage, but then we're looking to just help our friends out, keep them healed, Blessing of Freedoms, Blessing of Protections, you know, such. Keep our allies alive. Down here, Lawbringer is the choice for right now, what I'm looking at. I may be looking at Divine Punisher. Using Judgment on the same enemy you judge last generates 3 holy power. That means for every, it's either 9 seconds I think the cooldown gets reduced to while I'm in BGs. 8 or 9 seconds, it's almost up within the cooldown. That means I would get 3 holy power after. That means open up with it, go in, and then cast again. That's 3 holy power. So you're going to be able to, you know, from a 5 count, hit someone, Zeal, hit someone, Wake of Ash, hit them, Judgment, hit them again. You're going to be able to go Spender, generator, spender, generator, spender, generator, and it's just going to be sick. I think I'm gonna run some tests on it, see how good it is, and see if it's more than 5% of someone's else. Because I think technically, when I'm sitting at 5.1 million, at 5 million health, I think that's 250,000, give or take, 250,000 damage at 5% health. So that's awesome and all, but when I could throw the hammer and get another full spender off every 8 seconds, that's, a Templar's Verdict, yet again hitting for where was the average on it. I was averaging on normal hits 191k, criticals average 274k, but up to that max of 751,000, max on normals 525,000. The average is that's you're hitting someone who's obviously taking a lot less damage. But 500 and 700k, that definitely makes the difference. So I'm thinking Divine Punisher might bleed ahead just slightly. We'll see how it goes, because Lawbringer is getting up there because it is hitting multiple people. Yeah, as you can see, it's averaging 170k, maxed out at just shy of 250k. So we'll see what does better. That third holy power definitely is something to look at. But anyway, that is going to do it for the guide. Just hit up your rotations like normal. Take down healers. Take down the rest of the team afterwards. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little 7.2.5 guide, and hopefully it helps you out in the near future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I love making it for you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.